Hey, welcome to Blossom and Rise. It's your girl, Amber Troy-Silla, psychic medium and divine feminine here. And I am here to talk about the twin flame journey and talk about my um, disappearance for the last few weeks. I haven't been doing any readings. I have been doing pick a card readings on my Instagram at Blossom and Rise over there. I just did a giveaway to reach 1,000 subscribers or followers, and I did. So I did my first giveaway. So I think I'm going to do that again. So if you're interested in pick a card readings, which I'm sure you are, you would want to go over to Blossom and Rise, Instagram at Blossom and Rise handle, and send me a message and let me know that you followed me here from YouTube. Okay, go over there and check me out. I'm pretty litty over there. I was doing a giveaway here on YouTube to get to 1,000 subscribers, but because of what's happened in my journey, I had to take a step back. So I'm here today to talk about the journey. Okay. Now, in past videos, I have discussed many things about the twin flame journey, and I will post it here about my redefinition of what the twin flame journey is. I gotta actually find it, but I hope that I can find it and like put it right there. But I feel like a lot of it is like really romanticized, and it is a beautiful connection. It's a connection that it's a type of love that is just a one of a kind. Like you'll never love the way you love your counterpart because it's a recognition on the soul level. Your soul remembers that person and vice versa. And so, in order for me to talk about it, like spirit guided me to even like do readings and talk about the twin flame journey because I originally didn't. I really have never believed in the twin flame journey. I thought it was just a fad, a trend, until I met my divine counterpart last year. And my life has changed since then. Like, I've been way more creative. I've done a lot of introspection. I still am. So, what happens when you meet your divine counterpart, twin flame, your soulmate? So, know that all twin flames, all divine counterparts are soulmates, but not all soulmates are divine counterparts, okay? I do believe that you only have one, and I feel like it's the soul that you were created with at the time of your soul's creation, okay? And then soulmates are people that have incarnated with you throughout many lifetimes that are in your soul group, okay? So your twin flame is part of your soul group, but you only have one of those, okay? To my understanding. And so everything that I talk about on here about twin flames and divine counterparts is based upon my experience, okay? Just to be clear. Um, Sorry, I have like something. Oh, it's a hair. Okay. Ooh, it's in my eye. Ooh, okay, there we go. So, all right. So when you meet your divine counterpart, there'll be this intense connection, and there'll be an intense like you feel immediately comfortable with this person. You feel at home with this person. You don't know why, and it's super intense. It's overwhelming. Okay, it's overwhelming. And then like usually it's like a short it's a short being together before like the tower moment happens and you trigger the fuck out of each other and you separate. So there's always going to be a runner and there's going to be a chaser, okay? The runner is running out of fears, insecurities, whatnot. Chaser's running because usually like fears of abandonment or whatnot. So my story, okay? So I'm gonna spin everything up to date with you guys, okay? Explaining my absence. So September 2019, me and my past relationship, we weren't working out. We were changing and we weren't changing together and in our relationship. And I agreed for like 2 weeks, and then I was finally like I was good. So I met my counterpart, and I thought like when we met up for our first date, I thought that I was just gonna meet up with this dude, have some coffee, chit chat or whatever, and then call it a day and go home. We spent 8 hours together on our first date, and he just felt so comfortable to me, like super comfortable, and I've never felt that comfortable in my life with someone that I just met. And incidentally or coincidentally, we met and it was a full moon. So our first date was October 13th, right? Come to find out, his birthday is May 26th. My birthday is January 26th. And we're exactly 10 years apart. So that's another thing. It's like with the birthdays, they tend to be similar to one another. And then there can be like age difference, okay? It's another characteristic, okay? He lived 2 hours away from me from the get, so it's always been like long distance relationship or whatnot. And it was super intense, and so um like 2 months after that, no, a month after that, he disappeared. He straight up ghosted me. And something happened that triggered him, that I was aware that he was triggered. And so I gave him his space, because I was like, okay, this is something that's he has not healed yet, so I'm gonna give him his space and let him do that. Although it was devastating to me, because I thought everything was great between us, and then he just poof, gone. Like, where's he at? I don't know. He came back a week after my birthday, so February 1st he came back, and he sent me this long text message. And immediately, like, he started off with like, I apologize for not being present, and was it not being present or responsive, and then he went into why. And then one part of it was him saying like he just didn't know who he was, he felt really secluded, just down and out. And he said, I want more for myself. I don't want to lose people that love me, that I love. I don't know where to go from here, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he said. And it was just like, okay, my guard was super up, because he broke my trust, right? So we met up. Everything was good and whatnot. And we spent the day together, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And it was that day that I felt home. Like, the only other person I ever felt home with was with my grandmother, which is right there. My grandmother. She's the only other person that I've ever felt at home with, and I felt that with him. And another thing is like telecommunication, like I can't say it. Telepathic communication. There we go. Because when I couldn't say it, when I did say it, he told me, I was like, that was the first time I ever felt like at home with somebody, and he goes, you didn't have to say it because I felt it. So like since day one, really, we've always had like this communication that's just crazy. It's wild, but it's that soul communication, right? So the last time I saw him, it was President's Day weekend, and it was a 3-day weekend, and I had wanted to go and see him, and I was really hesitant to ask, because I was afraid that the next time I go like spend the weekend with him, that he would disappear due to feeling overwhelmed, because he struggles a lot with anxiety. And he was like, don't be afraid, it's gonna be fine, I want you to come. So I came. It was terrible. He was completely shut off. Like, he wasn't touching me, nothing. It was terrible. I spent Saturday, Sunday, and left on Monday. So like 2 nights and 1 day in 3 days with him, and it was terrible. It was horrible. So before I left, we actually had a conversation about what the fuck was going on. And he actually admitted that he had been feeling really overwhelmed since Friday, since like the day before I even got there. And he told me he couldn't even be honest with himself, so let alone be honest with me. So that told me that there's a lot that he needed to heal. There's a lot of stuff that was inside of him, And I was really frustrated, because I knew at that point he was going to disappear again. I knew it. And I was just like, fuck, like, is he going to keep running away from me? Like, I don't understand, And then it got to a point where while we were talking, and like I asked him, like, what is it that you feel about me? How do you feel about me? What do you want? And he couldn't answer those questions. He's just, I don't know. And I'm like, what don't you know? And he's like, well, what if this and what if that? And I'm like, yo, that is not at all what I asked you. And he would literally run away from me. Like, I was in the kitchen, and he would run out of the kitchen to his bedroom, and then he would come out. Then he would run back out, and then run back in. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I don't understand. Well, it's because he's not feeling enough for me. Okay? And I will tell you how I know that, okay? So we went our separate ways after that. I just, gave him space or whatnot. He was still kind of communicating with me. He told me that he was trying, he still wanted to date. And it was really hard for him to like have anybody over like that, because he's been single for 2 years, and his space, he was like all about his space. And I was just like, okay, but he also said that he didn't want it to just be his space. He wanted it to be our space. So I had a really hard time with understanding what he meant by that. Like, I knew what he meant, but like, just his actions and words just weren't connecting. So the last time I seen him was in February, and the last time he sent me a text message or anything like that was in March, okay? So that happened. And then, so we're still friends on Facebook. I have an inclination that he is Facebook stalking me. I guess I'll never know, but it's just what I'm inclined to feel. That's how I feel. Um, so I think it was like in March or April, I had a dream, okay? A visitation from his higher self. And in this dream, he gave me instructions to this abandoned house, right? To meet him. I met him at the house, and he was in this house, in this room, and it was all furnished. He had like a computer, he had a chair, he had 2 chairs. He was sitting at the computer, and I come in, and I sit down, and he looks at me, and he goes, "I'm still not ready, but I wanted to see you." And like, I knew it was real because in my dream, my heart just dropped, and I felt so much disappointment and so much just disappointment, right? I knew it was real because I felt like so disappointed even in the dream. And he said, "But I really admire the way that you express your emotions." So I was like, okay, I'm gonna notate this because this is super vivid, and from my experience with mediumship, you need to like write down all your experiences, right? So he actually came to me first. His higher self came to me first. So it wasn't until May or June, it might like recently, I started communicating with his higher self. And we meet in my sacred meadow, okay, in my sacred place. And his higher self is actually in alignment with me, right? And he told me like I feel like he was preparing me for what ended up happening, but he was preparing me, his higher self, and it's really helping me to connect with his higher self, okay? In this healing journey that I have, because there's like so much doubt here in the 3D, because he hasn't talked to me. So I was on Facebook, okay? Facebook decided to alert me that he had posted a status, right? Last month. And I was like, that's weird because we don't even communicate on Facebook. Probably because I tagged him in like a few posts, but like we've never really like corresponded on Facebook. So anyway, so I look at his post, and it says Michigan something something California, thank you, right? So immediately I text him and I'm like, "Hey, are you moving? Like, I need you to respond." Immediately, like right after I sent it, he responded. And not only did he tell me yes, but he told me why he was leaving. So I was like, "Okay, when are you leaving?" He was like, da da da. So I said, "Okay, can I see you before you leave?" And he was like, "I would love that." So I was like, "Perfect. I'm gonna be in your area. I'm working over the weekend there, so we can connect on Saturday." So he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll be working a little bit, and I'll be like, spending time packing. I'm not the same house I moved." So I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So Friday night comes. I hadn't heard from him, okay? And so I reach out to him and I'm like, "Hey, are we still on for Saturday? What's up?" And so he came at me with some excuses, and I was like, "Hey, look, like, please." He went from working a little bit on Saturday to working all day on Saturday, and so that was a red flag for me. So I was like, "Look, please don't lie to me. Just tell me if you want to see me or not." And so that hit his ego because he went in on me, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm not even trying to do any of this on text message. I don't even want to argue with you. I just want to see you." It's like, I haven't heard or talked to you in 4 months, and I still don't know why, and now you're leaving. Like, you don't think that I deserve some of your time? Like, I maybe deserve is not the right word, but like, you're doing like the ultimate disappearing act right now, the ultimate abandonment. But it's like, I had already worked on healing those wounds. So when this happened, I didn't feel abandoned. I didn't feel abandoned. And it's like, some of you guys may be asking me like, "How'd you get that way? How that happen?" I really have been isolating myself, and that's why I haven't been posting like as many videos as I did before, because I've been taking this time to just like really direct it towards self and really do this introspection. Introspection is huge in healing, focusing in what is hurting. What are the wounds that are hurting you right now? And so I've been really focusing on self-healing at this time. This is why I haven't had any videos. So again, I haven't talked to him. He's gone now. It's not funny, but I'm laughing. But it's like there's this part of me that knows that we're going to reconcile. Um, I sent him this long message before he left. And he has told me once, like, Lil Wayne has a song called Let It All Work Out. And so he had told me, Lil Wayne told me that it's let it all work out. So that's how I started. I was like, Lil Wayne told me it's gonna let it all work out, and I'm finally ready to listen. So that's all about surrendering, right? Surrendering to the process, letting go of any expectations or any time frames or anything. Just let it go. And I was just telling him, like, you know, this is not our end. Either in this lifetime or another lifetime, we're going to recognize each other. I know that you know that is true. We got to experience this beautiful unconditional love with one another that a lot of people can't say that they've experienced. So for me, this is a win, you know, and I wish you the best in your healing process. And, you know, just like super positive, because I know he was coming from the ego. So coming from the ego, you're probably not in the best space, okay? I know he's been going through a lot of stuff that he hasn't shared with me. His higher self told me that he feels inadequate. So not my equal, okay? So I'm feeling like that's truth, why he decided to pull himself back away from me, because he didn't feel like he matched me, which is really unfortunate, because when you see yourself in somebody else, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, I don't know. That's the best way that I can describe it. And it's not even the potential of someone, but you literally see yourself in somebody else. And so it's like, okay, well, I have to let go of it. Does it hurt sometimes? Yeah, it does hurt sometimes, but that's when I go back into myself. And if I have to meet him in my sacred meadow, I meet him there. And he does this thing where he'll like stroke my face, and tears will come down my face. Like, I could talk about it right now and I don't feel emotional or anything, but when my soul is with his soul in that sacred place that I have for us, it's more than emotional. It's just it's beautiful. It touches me and it's healing for me. So it's like I feel like we're healing each other in the realm of spirit. Okay? And so every day is, you know, a healing journey. I've been very introverted lately. And just focusing on myself and my growth. Actually, hold on a sec. I actually created this oracle deck, and it's backwards because of my phone, but it says the blossoming messages from the heart oracle deck. And they're oracle messages like, I'm missing you, I'm struggling with money, I picked up my phone many times to reach out to you but couldn't find the words to speak. These are things that he said to me that I'm like, this is not just unique. These are things that other people are experiencing as well. I'm working on releasing and healing. We should wait but really don't want to. I fucking love you. Yeah, I have some F-bombs on here. I honestly, I really don't give a fuck. I can't do this right now. I chase because I'm afraid of being abandoned. I get lost in your eyes and I find a better version of myself. Like, these are all, you know, messages that you can use if you're a reader yourself. Or if you just want to like pull your own cards. If you're interested, I will have my Etsy link down below. Okay, I am doing a pre-sale from now until July 10th for these cards. So if you're interested, okay. But yeah, so like, part of this journey is me focusing on my creativity. Like, I would have never done this had I not experienced this journey. You know what I mean? And I'm creating a divine feminine empowerment self-paced program as well. I would have never done that had I not had this experience that I'm in. And the twin flame journey is not worrying about whether or not you're going to be together, because if you're able to meditate and meet with your person's higher self, you already know that separation is not real. You guys are always one. Okay, it's just things that have to, you know, you have to work through in this lifetime in order for it to come together. Now, we all have free will as well. So just because you feel like it's going to work, that other person may not want to initiate the change that needs to happen in order for union to be part of the 3D experience in this lifetime, and that is okay. But learning to connect with their higher self. And so you may be asking, like, how do you trust in that? And I said, well, I say how I respond to it. Like, I'm talking about it right now and I'm not teary-eyed. I'm not feeling any type of way about it. But when I go into meditation, it's soul to soul, and it's a different type of feeling. Okay, it's a different type of communication, everything. Just recently, his higher self showed me, he took my hand. Like, so when we're together, we always have to touch one another. So his higher self grabbed my hand and said, hey, I need to show you something. Okay. So he takes me over to this plant and he points to this worm and he was like, you see this? And I was like, yeah. He's like, what is it? I said, it's a worm. He said, that was me before I met you. And I said, okay. Then he turned around and showed me something else. He's like, what's that? I was like, it's a caterpillar. He's like, this is what I am now. You've helped me transform from this to that. That's because you're helping me heal. This is us. And I'm just like, wow, that's beautiful. And that's something that his 3D self probably couldn't. His communication is actually pretty good when he's in a good space with himself. So I can't say that he wouldn't say that, but yeah, it's a trip. And I mean, it's all about doing the work that's necessary. I have my good days. Some days I have my bad days. Today I worked with someone that looked just like him, and it was like taking a band-aid off of a barely formed scab and just ripping it off. So I feel pretty raw, so I felt like this was like the best time to create this video and talk about it. Divine Feminines, if you're in this situation, like, know that this is not about whether or not you're going to get back together with them. It's about you healing. And I'm taking the time to heal myself. And I'm not putting a time limit on it. I'm not putting a time limit on it. As long as I have communication with his higher self, that is enough for me. That's enough for me. And I'm happy with that. My life has just changed drastically from meeting him. So it's been just a beautiful transformation, although it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's like, I don't even want to date. I'm not having sex. I know that's TMI, but let's keep it real. I'm not having sex. I don't want to do anything that lowers my vibration. I don't want to take on other people's energy, because when you have sex with someone, that is an energetic exchange. So just be wary of that. That's real. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in taking the time and being patient with myself. Patience is something I've always struggled with, but being patient with myself is the most important thing. And I'm grateful for this journey. So if you've lasted this long in the video, thank you. If you're interested in having a twin flame reading of your own for some clarity, I am available to do that. There is a scheduling link where I do my readings live, either through Zoom or by phone. So I have limited availability. There we go. And I usually do them on the weekday nights. Okay. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and, schedule down below, or just like look at this description at the link down below. Follow me on Instagram at Blossom and Rise, okay, where I do pick a card readings every Tuesday, and I do a live reveal at 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, okay, if you're interested. I will eventually get back to going back to like doing 2 readings in a week and back to my giveaway, but right now I'm just like really being patient with myself in this journey, and this is where I feel like I need to be right now. So I am on YouTube, but I'm mostly on my Instagram, so go check me out there. Thank you guys so much for staying this long. If you are here, thank you. I love you. And if you're in your own journey, I would love to hear about it. Comment down below and let me know how it's going. Let me know how I can support you. We're all in this together. All right. Bye, guys.